Serious Americans, would you be in support of putting a law in place that government officials, such as senators and the president, go without pay during shutdowns like this, while other federal employees do? Why, or why not? At face value I would think it's a good idea, but I saw someone pointed out a rather logical reason why it wouldn't. Basically the wealthier representatives could wait out the poorer ones. A better solution would be to cancel recess for everybody involved. Edit. Just to clarify, removing recess means that the Senate cannot adjourn. I would prefer that Congress can't leave the Capitol until a budget is passed. I think that could turn into a game of big bank little bank. The wealthiest politicians could just wait out those with less money in order to get their way. The whole reason they don't already is because then the richer congressmen would use it against the poorer ones. Terrible idea. I'd rather change the law so that not passing the budget defaulted to a continuing resolution. There is no reason a shutdown should happen. No, but I'm also against allowing critical federal employees to go without pay. I think if they are required to work, we should be required to pay them. Regarding the why not of politicians, we are finally starting to get some who aren't coming from wealth. I'd hate for those people to get pushed out because they can't afford to be politicians. I want to see more representation of working and middle class people in our government. Obligatory update. Thanks for the silver kind internet stranger. Functionally you would need an amendment rather than just a law. Congressional members aren't paid from annual appropriations and are paid through a salary not based on hours worked, but as their status as members. More importantly, members of Congress are constitutional officers. The president and life-tenured federal judges is also a constitutional officer and also cannot be prevented from carrying out their duties, except as allowed in the Constitution. As such, they're all constitutionally entitled to pay. Article 1, Section 6 of the Constitution. The senators and representatives shall receive a compensation for their services, to be ascertained by law, and paid out of the Treasury of the United States. 27th Amendment. No law, varying the compensation for the services of the senators and representatives, shall take effect, until an election of representatives shall have intervened. It also functionally wouldn't do much besides perhaps damage the one or two financially untenable younger members AOC for example. The shutdown and pay being withheld impact only those employees that need that money imminently. This is a terrible idea. Majority of Congress and certainly most of them would not care, so that my senators are worth millions of dollars. Much more than they don't even notice their salary. For another thing, some Congress people do really depend on their salary. This is their only source of income. See the problem here? If we cut off their pay, then the rich congressmen have a weapon to use against the poorer congressmen. There would be more government shutdowns and threats of shutdowns, and vote with me or lose your paycheck would become a viable, common tactic for the wealthier members of Congress. A better idea would be to just stop voting for idiots. Or, more applicable to this audience, F-King vote. Edit. Thank you for the gold and silver and the great discussions. This shutdown is extremely frustrating for everyone. I don't think and there are no easy concept should even exist. But the more we talk about potential projects with limited lifetime, the more likely we are to find some operating budgets for ongoing departments and agencies should run along as is until changed. There should never be a budget no budget conflict. It should be about how much we spend or don't spend on each individual thing. I support a law that ends shutdowns by continuing funding at previous levels if no new budget is passed. I'd be more in favor of holding an impromptu election like other countries do. If a Congress can't work together to keep the govt open at a minimum, why not revote, and whoever the public decides is the problem gets thrown out. Here's the thing, I only think it would work if you eliminated income from all sources, that is investments and outside revenue streams. Basically you'd have to put a freeze on the bank accounts of the politicians during a shutdown, and you'd never have one again. At least half of our members of Congress have such wherewithal that their congressional salary is meaningless to them.